Hi all, I picked up an interesting opening trap from watching a high-level bullet tournament last night, which I'd like to share with you. I think one of the players is definitely a grandmaster and the other might be. So it was a bullet speed game though, where actually one of them was giving time odds of 30 seconds. The player actually playing black, giving time odds, I believe. Anyway, played the Caro-Kann, knight f3, d5, knight c3. So it's not using the d pawn. This is very, very important finesse, not using the d pawn, because it almost looks as though this is a standard variation. Black took on e4, and it looks like bog standard. This is almost like regarded as main line, but it's usually when white plays d4, right? This is slightly different from usual. If white wants to go into the usual territory, he'll play d4 here. If you look on Chess-Based Livebook, this would be the most popular move, d4. For example, this, then we're going into ordinary territory. D pawn hasn't been committed. This is a gigantic difference, and why this trap is intriguing to me, and maybe to you as well. White plays h4, black reacts with h6. Note that because knight d7 has been played, knight e5 is now possible because white hasn't spent time playing d4, which allows knight d7. So without knight d7, e5 is actually there for the taking. White pounces with knight e5. Bishop drops back. Guess what white plays now? I thought this was incredible. Absolutely incredible, this sequence. But what is this? Why haven't I ever played this with white? What have I been missing out on to beat all these Caro-Kann players for the last few years? This line, without playing the d pawn, offers something very tactical solution in this position. White's play, what would you play here? It's amusing as well. If you look at the bishops there, it's neglected b7. It's also neglected f7. And it's both those squares which are tapped into with the following sequence, which is super neat. Queen h5, this is even more accurate than queen f3. So hitting f7, crude threat of mate. Yeah, white is a GM and did play this. Yeah, and it's technically brilliant. I'll show you the less accurate queen f3 after. So black parries that, blocks in his bishops, that's the point, blocking in that bishop. So c2 is not under pressure there, the bishop's stuck in. White to play here, what would you play? Go back to your junior self. Just hit the soft spots. Yes, queen f3, hitting the soft spot. So black plays knight f6, parrying that. Now what does white play? Okay, just queen b3. Hitting f7 and b7. It's a disaster for black. Queen d5, this is one of the best moves. Queen takes b7. Just offering the knight on e5 because look, the rook is hit. But there's also something very horrible as well. After queen takes e5 check, bishop e2. Can you see the other threat now that the queen's on e5? It's not just the rook, but there's another threat which is revealed after bishop g7, white to play. Queen c8 checkmate. Yes, and this was actually, I believe, one of the shortest losses ever for one of the greatest players on one of the online sites for this speed of play. He usually actually wins after giving time odds of 30 seconds to a minute. He usually beats everyone, but this was a very, very strong tournament. So Macrophago against Ultimate Gamer last night had this sequence. So white is actually checkmated black here. If we go queen a5 here, I think b4 is actually the strongest. b4. So b4, and then take the rook actually. So say the queen comes back, we can take the rook. So yeah, I thought it was just an amazing trap sequence. Please let me know what you think of it. If I pick up any other of these traps from whatever time limit, I think I'll share them from now on. I just thought it's fascinating just to recap, you know, it's avoided what is a very, very main road of chess with this devious sequence of not playing d4. So just getting both knights out as though black's playing into normal territory. This is the beautiful thing about this trap. Knight g3, but now pouncing after h4 to get the bishop buried on h7. Queen h5. The damage is done. Look at this position with engines. The damage has already been done. Black has very limited options. That's the beautiful thing about this trap. And the queen's gliding along around the place, hitting soft spots. And it's just winning here, this position. It's just winning, however way it's done. But yeah, this was the devastating finish, Queen c8 checkmate. I hope you maybe use this. Let me know if this works out for you. Maybe you try it in your online bullet or blitz or even longer time controls. Let me know if it works out. Put a comment in the video for your game if it works out for you, this trap, to encourage me to post some more of these naughty traps. Okay, thanks very much.